Right guys, here we go. The first time ever a Campbell soup suet pudding. Hi guys, how you all doing? Welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Right, today we're going to do an Anglo-American meal. Now this is going to be completely off the cuff. I've never seen this anywhere ever, and I just thought about it when I was walking around the supermarket. You know, I'm walking around the supermarket here in Thailand, and Campbell's classic chicken noodle and vegetable soup was on offer, you know, really cheap. Now, the thing is with this Campbell's is cooked with care in the USA. So this is American, and I'm going to combine it with a traditional British classic. I'm going to make a suet pudding. So basically what we're going to have this Campbell's chunky classic chicken noodle with white meat chicken inside a suet pudding. So never been done before. We're going to do it. Now, listening to this, there's quite a lot of fluid in there. There might be too much fluid for our pudding, so we might have to thicken this with corn flour, or we might have to lose some of the fluid. So anyway, we're going to give it a go. Never been done before. Let's do it. Okay then guys, what we have 250 grams of self-raising flour. Now if in America you can use self-rising, and what we're going to do, we're going to add 125 mils of suet. If we can get it in there. Starting to melt, it's that hot here. We're going to add a good pinch of salt, guys. Okay, we're going to take a normal knife, and what we're going to do, we're actually going to cut this into the flour like you would make a normal pastry. Now the only reason why I say cut it in, this has started to melt. Now what you can do, you can still rub it in like you would do a normal pastry. You know, there's not a worry. So get that in there. We want the normal breadcrumbs like you would a pastry. Try not to handle it too much if you can, you know, handle it lightly. But, you know, there's no great shakes. Just bring it together, make some breadcrumbs. Now, of course, you could whiz all this up in a food processor if you so wished. You know, that's up to you guys. It's just as easy just to mix it together like this, get your hands in. Nice and steady. And then what we will do, we'll add our fluid, and then this will turn into a real sticky mess. That is 100% guaranteed. So we have that lovely light breadcrumb consistency in there, guys. That is really nice. Now what we need to do now is add our 125 mils of water. So tip it in there, and then what we're going to do is just cut it in with our knife. Now this is going to be a real sticky mess. That is 100% guaranteed. This is not normal pastry. Okay, so just cut it in till it all comes together. Nice and steady. Oh, let's get in the screen. Cut it in nice and steady till it all comes together, and then we'll get our hands in there and just bring it together. So nice and steady, guys, look. Just bring this stodgy mess together. Now the beauty about suet pastry, which the Victorians learned, and obviously we all know now, that you can roll this instantly. As soon as you brought the pastry together, you can roll it without resting. So it makes it an absolutely fantastic pastry. We're going to make a steamed pastry, but if you cook this in the oven as a pastry top, you get a fantastic crusty top with a slight sogginess or wetness, whatever you want to describe it, softness under the crust. It's delicious. So that's our suet pastry come together. So there's our pastry, done. Right guys, what we want to do is open one of these tins and see what the contents inside. Now I've never had one of these before, I have no idea. So this will be the first time I've seen this like you. Okay, so let's open one of these tins. So just as I thought, it's going to be really runny. So what we'll do, let's just tip that in there first, see what it looks like. Right, okay guys, this is the contents of our soup. Okay, very watery. It's got little bits of chicken in, carrot, pasta, and obviously they've seasoned it. Campbell's have seasoned it, so. Now I know this is not warmed up, it's straight out of the can, but it does say cooked in the USA, so I'm assuming it's safe to eat. Carrots are soft. Pasta's very tender. Then obviously you've got the chicken, which I won't eat, and you've got bits of celery in there. So there's not much to it really, and a stack of seasoning. So what I've decided to do, because it's too watery, we're going to have to thicken this up. So what we'll do, we'll chop some onions, put a little bit of butter in, make a roux, tip this in, and then maybe add a little bit of corn flour. And that will be our filling for our suet pie. So let's give it a go, see what happens. Okay then, in a pan, some butter. Get some butter in the pan. And then what we want to do, we want to go in with our onions. Now don't forget guys, this is completely made up. Now we're not going to add any salt or anything to our soup mixture. There's enough. So we'll just give that a little bit of a cooking in there. I think I'm going to add just a little pinch of black pepper actually. Put some black pepper in. Give it a little stir around. And then what we're going to do, we're going to add a couple of tablespoons. In fact, we're going to go 3 tablespoons of flour. And then give it a little stir around and a bit of a cooking through there. Now, we're not going to be able to cook this really well because we haven't put too much oil or butter in our pan. So just give it a cook around a little bit. And then what we can do, we can add just a little bit of that soup mixture. Just to loosen it up. And then add a bit more. Get that in there. Now we've got 2 cans of soup guys. So we're going to use 2 cans of soup. So get your cans of soup in there. Now, I would imagine that the soup already has corn flour in. The good thing with this guys, there's no MSG, there's nothing added. So Old Campbell's, okay there's not much chicken obviously, but Old Campbell's have done a good job really, no MSG, no nothing in there. So all we're doing now is just thickening it up just a little bit. I think it's a bit naff actually in colour. I think what we're going to do is add some frozen peas. I think that's a bit naff, it's a bit bland, you know. So we'll just add some frozen peas in there guys. Change the colour a little bit. Gives it a bit more veg as well actually. So we'll just stir that in there. That's better, look. We've got a better colour already. Starting to thicken up. In fact, it looks like the contents of a chicken pot pie really. Not pork pie, pot pie. Chicken pot pie. That's really nice actually. It's been really seasoned well by Campbell's. In fact, it's a little bit salty for my taste, but it's okay. When it's been cooked and all this is in our suet pastry, I think it will be absolutely superb. Okay guys, I think that's quite thick enough actually, and that is our filling made. Okay guys, what we need to do is a little bit of flour on there and put our pastry on. Now all we're going to do is roll a little bit of pastry out just for the lid for now. So roll it out. Now the thing is, we're only rolling for a lid, so we'll get rid of that and then just roll it out. Okay, so take our bowl that we're going to use, put it on there, little press down, cut round with a knife. Take our excess pastry off there, and there is our pastry lid. So we'll just put that to one side, and then what we'll do, we need to get enough pastry to fit all the inside of this bowl. Okay, so a little bit more flour on there. Take our dough, put that excess dough with there. Now the good thing with suet dough is it's very, very forgiving. Okay, and you don't have to rest it as you've just seen. We can just get on and get it done. So just roll it out. A little bit more flour on there so it doesn't stick. Give it a good rolling out there. And then what we want to do is tuck that inside there. Now this has already been buttered out, so all we're going to do is take our suet pastry and we're going to dump it in our bowl. There we go. Just give it a little bit of a squashing together there where it's sort of joined over. But what could happen, it could actually open when it steams, but not to worry. So there you go guys, there is our pastry in our bowl, ready for our filling. Okay guys, what we need to be doing is adding our filling to our pastry. So we get our filling in there. That's superb guys, that's got all our mixture in there, from 2 cans of soup, a little bit of onion and some flour. Right, what we need to do now is put our lid on. So put our lid on. So we get our lid on there guys, and then what we do, we bring over the rest of this pastry filling, that we had hanging over. So bring it over. What we need to do guys, we need to take a bit of water, and what we need to do is smooth this in a little bit if we can. Now it might not work, it might work. Okay, so that's our pie put together in our bowl. What we need to do now, we need to take 2 circles of parchment paper or greaseproof paper, and what we need to do is really grease it up. So get it really greased up, and I mean really greased up, because this is going to go on the top of our pie, our pudding. So that's 2. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take our pudding or pie, and we're going to take our grease-proof paper, and we're going to put that on the top. Now this is a double layer, because when it steams, we don't want the top to get wet. Okay, so that's going to hold it all together and steam really nicely. Okay guys, so there's our pudding like that. Now what we need to do is we need to take some tin foil, okay? But what we need to do is put a little pleat in the tin foil. Only a little pleat, like that. Okay? Now if this expands, this will rise. And then all we do guys is put that on our pudding, fold it round and make a nice seal on the top. We've got our pudding in there, we've got our string, and what you want to do is you want to make what they call a half granny knot. Okay? Now it's very easy, and then all we do is we put that on our pudding top there and give it a nice little tug, nice and gently, and then we can tie that off. Oops. Now what you want to do is tie that off, and then we can pass this over and tuck it under this piece of string. So open up your string, oops, like that. Get your end, shove it under there. Now you don't have to do this, but you know, we're going to get a nice little handle on here, and just half hitch and another half hitch. Okay, cut off the ends if you want to make it a bit tidier, doesn't really matter. And that is our pudding. So let's put our pudding in a pan of water. Right guys, we want a pan, and we want what they call a trivet. Put your trivet in there, and then what we're going to do is add some boiling water to this and put our pudding on top of there. Right guys, while the kettle's boiling actually, and with our pudding, what you need to do, you need to bring your water up more than halfway of your pudding bowl, and we're going to steam for about 2 hours. Okay guys, we've got our water into halfway, and then all we need to do is to turn it down to a simmer. So it's simmering away, and then we'll put a lid on, and we need to cook that for 2 hours. Right, 2 hours guys, turn off the heat, open the lid, whoo, and we just give it a minute, because we need to let that steam out so we don't get burnt. And then what we're going to do, we're going to lift our suet, our soup suet pudding out, and we're going to have a look. Now, we already know the inside contents are cooked, so it doesn't matter. The idea of cooking the pastry for the 2 hours is actually to cook the pastry. The inside filling was already cooked. So let's get this out of here. Whew. Now this is why we make a handle guys, so we can just take it out. Right guys, this has definitely got to be a first. I've never seen a suet pudding before, ever. So it looks okay, I think. So what we'll do, we'll cut the string. So let's cut the string off, and then take off our, whew. Oh, look at that. And then what we need to do is take off our parchment paper that we put on. So get the parchment paper off there. Oh, that guys is a wonderful suet pastry crust. So what we need to do, we got to hope that that comes out of there in one go. Oh, let's put a plate on, press down, turn over, and we can't get that off, it's too hot. There we go guys, are you ready? Oh, you're seeing it for the first time like me. Oh, look at that. That is amazing. Whew, that is red hot actually. And if you look here, look, we've got a bit of a, where obviously we folded the pastry in and it's split across. So what we'll do, we'll cut down there and cut down there and open it up. Right guys, here we go. The first time ever a Campbell soup suet pudding. So let's just take our knife down through the middle and down that cut. Oh, this feels wonderful. Oh, this feels wonderful. We'll just take a cut there. Get a nice slice going. Oh, come on. Oh. Our pastry, guys. Just look at that. Woo, that's hot. That is really hot. Oh. Oh wow, that is really good. Oh, that suet pastry works really well with this. It would work really well with cream and mushroom soup as well. That is fantastic. Oh, guys, that is actually a winner. That is amazing. Oh. That is a winner. That is absolutely amazing. It's delicious. A suet pastry with that Campbell soup. Oh man. Oh. Oh, that. Oh. Oh, guys. Forget the mashed potato. That is superb. Guys, if you like what we're doing and you'd like to subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Till next time, keep safe. Oh man, that is amazing.